Hello guys, welcome to another FU Money. Today another live stream just after the first weekend where we delivered the giveaway of the FU Money podcast. So Bitcoin today has been struggling to recover from these levels, critical levels that I've been discussing in previous podcasts. Let's see who is here today before we start the showing the charts. And we have some people already. I'm going to try to have a really quick podcast today. I'm not going to have 1 hour and a half for sure. You guys know already during the week, I will try to maintain this to 15 or 20 minutes. And if we have some time in the end, I will, of course, take 1 or 2 questions from you guys from the chat. But I will just try to keep it to the minimum and update the Bitcoin price charts, technicals, whatever there is to discuss today. So let's see. Just a few quick words from the chat. So today we have Crypto Dealer here. I got you, man. So Crypto Dealer from the Hard Fork Cafe, you guys know him already. And we have Vitor Silva also already watching, and of course the OG of the channel, Magis. He's here from Texas. And also from South America, Javiera is also with us today. Hello. I was expecting Javiera to participate in the giveaway, but she didn't, so I did not really understand what happened there, but she was trying to gather the numbers and then she didn't show up on Saturday. So I guess we'll have to punish her on Telegram group. And also Ricardo Patroni, he's here today also. So guys, okay, that's it for the chat. Let's just go here, and before we start, of course, the usual message. So here you have, guys, the 2 URLs for the first one on top is my Twitter account, my new Twitter account, because the other one was deplatformed. So you can follow me again on Twitter using the first link. And the link below is the Telegram group where you can join more than 500 people already discussing Bitcoin and other stuff about the markets in general. So you guys know that already. These links will, of course, be going on down below in this ticker that you see just going around. So no need to keep the message here. And let's see what is happening today in the market. So you guys know already that I only take a look at the first 2 boxes here on this page. Let me just refresh and see what is happening. So Bitcoin just fell a few $100 in the last few minutes. When I was preparing the stream, we were around 43,300. We lost $300 in the last few minutes while I was just preparing everything for you guys here. So we, in the past 24 hours, we lost 0.5% of the total value of Bitcoin. And Ethereum, of course, we lost 1.23% in the last 24 hours. So the markets in general are a bit on critical levels right now, trying to recover. So let's go to the charts and see what is happening. So let's start with the infamous price to time model, which right now is ready to jump off a cliff. And of course, there's nothing to see here. We are getting to the end of the square, just a few more weeks, a few more bars. And probably this will not work as expected for the 3rd time. So we had only the pattern for the previous 2 halvenings. This 3rd halvening is not working as expected. So let's see and evaluate the error later when we have finally a top. I don't know if this year, by the end of the year, or the beginning of next year, 2022. I was just checking here because I thought the background music was a bit too quiet. I see some more people joining the chat. So today I was just saying from the start that I will try to keep it very, very fast, a very quick update for this podcast. So let's take a look at the total. We are still above the 2 support levels that we already talked about in this podcast before in previous weeks. So everything is trying to, I am still convinced, and unless we lose the support levels of Bitcoin around the 40K level, unless that happens, we are still in for a continuation of the bull market, of course. So the total market cap right now is at 1.93 trillion, and of course 42% of that is Bitcoin alone. You guys saw it before. I can just go back because I forgot to mention the numbers. So in the last 24 hours, there was a volume traded of Bitcoin around 40.21 billions, and on Ethereum 7.35 rounded numbers billions in the past 24 hours. Ethereum is now above $3,000 already, and Bitcoin is just recovering a bit since we started the stream. Almost 200 bucks more than we had. We were around 43,000 when I started the stream, so it's 150 bucks rounded numbers. But let's continue to the charts. So the total market cap continues to the bottom of the trend channel, as you guys see here, continues to go up. We are now starting a new week, so the trend channel will for this week be around this level here, and I have to zoom out a bit just to see the numbers, and this will be around exactly exactly as predicted around the 1.71 trillion, which is the second line of support and the last hill for the continuation of the bull cycle. So right now we are just a hair below that level, 1.70, and that's where we will remain for this week until the next close. And then next week we will probably get up one more step and go into the area in between the two lines of support, which is really good for the support to be even stronger than just the lines of resistance that we had around the 40K when Bitcoin was in January trying to break those levels, in February, sorry. So for the total market cap, I continue to believe that this is a retracement corresponding to the wave 2 of the final 5 waves that will compose the bigger and final 5th wave of the Elliott count that I've been counting since December 2018, when we were at the peak of the bear market around $3,000 in Bitcoin. That's it for the total market cap. There is nothing else to see here. You guys see that the trend channel, even going back down, we continue to go up here also on the top of the trend channel and on the bottom. We still have to break all this resistance context, which is the gray area, and get above the red rectangle here to have the continuation of the bull cycle. So let's hope for the best. And right now we are exactly on critical levels that we have to maintain in order to keep the bull cycle. Let's see dominance really quickly. We are just rising a bit compared to the previous week. So you guys remember, previous week we were around 41%. We are now around 42%. So Bitcoin dominance is now increasing just by 1%, of course, since the start of the week. But I believe that this was the final bottom for the dominance. And from now on, we will start to rise slowly and gradually to the top where we usually are. At least with the first goal being, of course, the half of the context channel, which will be around 50 to 54%. So I hope that we will gradually start to rise here in dominance, and that is the bottom that everyone was expecting, as seen here in May 2018 and also in May 2021. That's really funny that it was almost the same month. So it was exactly the same months, just a few years later. 3 years later, we went exactly to the same bottom. Now, the second bottom, as you guys can see here, I will just zoom in a bit so you guys can see it better. So first bottom, second bottom, and probably from here on, we will start to gradually and slowly rise the dominance on Bitcoin. Continuing the sine waves or the waves of this dominance chart. So let's hope for the best also and have Bitcoin increase the dominance against all altcoins here. Now let's take a look at the MRI chart, and I will start by the weekly. So the previous week was very, very good. I really like this close of the week much above the 20 period SMA, and again I will zoom in so you guys can see it, because many of you use your phones and you can't see shit if you use a phone. So here it is. The close of the previous week was really nice. We went really below the 20 period SMA, the green line on your screen. Then we recovered almost or around half of the candle body, and we closed above the 20 period SMA, which was very good. And now we were starting the week on the green, but now we are already in the red. So let's see how this fourth candle of the 1 to 4 candle correction, which I still believe could be a 1 to 4 candle correction, will end up being in the end of this week. I hope that we close this last or fourth candle since the retracement started above the 20 period SMA, the green line on your screen, and especially above the yellow line on your screen, which is the 50 period SMA. So if all goes well, as you guys can see here, we have a 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the red count. And probably if this corresponds to the correction of the MRI, then we will have a 1 to 4 candle correction. Probably we could close this weekly candle just a bit below even, but then probably break this trend channel here, which I plotted today, this morning on the daily chart, and you guys will see it just in a few seconds. But I hope that this is the fourth of the 4 candle correction and we can actually get out of this channel going down, use it as a bull flag and continuation to the upside. Or the other option is to break support around 40k and start a bear market, which no one wants. So we keep focusing on the close of the weekly candles. This is the most important thing that you guys should focus now, is where is this weekly candle going to close? And that's really, really important in a few days from now. So 6 days and 7 hours from now, we need to see where this will close. Now, the RSI continues to go neutral now. We were just going down and now we are going sideways on the RSI. So this is neutral. The MACD is finally crossing over and this is bearish. So on the weekly chart, the blue line is now just on top of the orange, or I should say the opposite. The orange line is, of course, on top of the blue. And now they are just crossing each other, and the blue line will probably go to the downside here below the orange, which is bearish. Also, the bars are just a hair above the zero level, which is not good also on the weekly chart. You guys remember this used to be the chart I used to love the most. Now the weekly chart is the chart where everyone has to keep focus, and I don't like the price structure right now. So this is the last opportunity and critical level for Bitcoin to reverse to the upside and have a continuation of the bull cycle here. If that doesn't happen, if we lose this area of support, then I will have to reevaluate everything on my strategy and tell you guys what I think about it. Probably we could be seeing the beginning of a bear market, and this will take a long time to get back above this level here. So let's see how that goes. Let me just take a look at the daily chart. So here it is, the trend channel that I plotted this morning. I was just watching this area of this price structure here where we had an ABC correction, but we are still consolidating and unable to break this trend channel to the upside. So what needs to happen here is that we are exactly at the middle. So we are consolidating at the middle of this trend channel going down, and we need to reverse the price action here, break this resistance of the trend channel and the moving averages, because we have 3 moving averages coming together exactly here at the area of this trend channel, and we need to break that to the upside. It will not be easy, but that's what we need before the end of the week, so we can have a 1 to 4 candle correction on the weekly chart and the breakout of this trend channel going down in order to restart the bull cycle. Or the alternative is very, very bad, is to break the 100 period SMA here, the red line on your screen, break the support of the 40,000 and continue to the downside, breaking also the MRI support line around 37.5, and that will be a disaster. This will be a disaster if we are not able to maintain Bitcoin above the 43,000, 42,000 and breaking this trend channel. Okay, guys? So this is the very, very important part we have to focus on. And on the daily chart, if you guys also look at the daily chart, you have to keep your eyes on this 100 period SMA, this red line here going sideways that has been supporting the price at the critical levels. This is the critical level that we have to maintain and reverse to the upside. The RSI continues to be below my trend line here. I will just extend it a bit more to this side because this was already very, very close to the end. So let me just put it exactly as it was, being resistance there, being support here, and being support here. This trend line has been very helpful on my RSI, not just the weekly one, but also the daily one. And in this case, we are now below the trend line, so we have to recover this immediately to the upside, make support on this trend line, and continuation to the upside again. The MACD on the daily chart is of course very, very bearish. We have the blue line touching very negative levels here. We are below zero already. The bars keep extending to the right on the light red. And now we have to cross the blue line above the orange in order to have a bullish MACD on the daily chart. And of course, to flip these bars to the green and above the zero level. So right now this is very, very bearish, and here it's neutral but tending to be bearish. So I will be very, very focused on this candle today, this doji candle, which I really hate this price structure here, this configuration of this candle. I don't like it. I would rather have a complete body on the green and maintain these levels here at practically the top where we were already around 44,000, and keep those levels, so in order that during this week we are able, even with some consolidation around those levels, to break the trend channel that is going down and start a recovery of the price action to the upside. So let's see how that goes, but for now doesn't look good. We are on critical levels and we need to reverse this as soon as possible during this week. We cannot have the luxury of closing the weekly candle below the 20 period SMA. That will be a critical step. Okay, guys? So let me just take a look very quickly at the BitMEX funding rate. We are now BitMEX funding rate. We have the premium on the negative side. The leverage is very close to zero, so I guess no one is trading with leverage, or very few people are using leverage right now on BitMEX, and that's due to the uncertainty of the market. On the 4-hour chart, we also have an MRI warning, and this candle is not an MRI top because we are going down, and this one flipped already to the red count, being a 1 of 9 red. So if this candle goes to the upside and we go above these levels here for the previous 4 candles, then, or 3 candles, sorry, this one will become again a 9 and an MRI top. So actually I would prefer for the next 2 hours and a half this candle to remain like this, not going above the previous one, and then the next one to reverse the price action and start a new count on the green, avoiding to have this MRI top, which would be also a disaster in the short term. If that happens, we would have a 1 to 4 candle correction at least, which would take us even to tomorrow on the red. So I would much rather prefer to have here the candle close just as is right now in 2 hours and a half, and then the next one to turn green and start a flip on the green count to the upside again, avoiding the MRI top. But this is what we have right now. I don't want to extend it very much. Let me just take a look at the here the XY. So the dollar, I have this weird feeling that the dollar is going to break the last swing high resistance level and probably get to the MRI resistance level, which is around the 94.3. So I don't really understand why the dollar keeps going up with all the dollar printing and all the inflation that the dollar is provoking in the world. But I guess for the dollar to go up, all the other fiat currencies in the world have to have a worse time right now and have even more inflation than the dollar, so that the dollar keeps going up. That's the only explanation I can find, because this index is the dollar against all other currencies, and in order for the dollar to rise, all other currencies have to go down. So I guess even if the dollar has been having a bad time and a lot of inflation, I guess all the other fiat currencies are even worse, and that's the only explanation for the dollar to keep going up. In any case, I discussed this already with you guys. This looks like a cup and handle. So this is the cup and here is the handle. And if this is correct, we might expect the dollar to go to levels around 96 or 95 on the Dixie, which will be a disaster, of course, because it will devaluate the Bitcoin numbers on the charts, and I don't like that. Gold, very quickly, gold is holding this has been holding this level for the past 3 weeks. Now we have a green doji on gold, but we are already below the 100 period SMA, so that's not good for gold, and there's nothing else to discuss here. The S&P continues to try to recover from this retracement that we had that crossed the 20 period SMA on the weekly chart. Let me just take a look very quickly at the daily chart. So as you guys can see, here it is, just waiting for the MRI to load, and there you go. We had a 1 to 7, almost 9. We almost had here an MRI bottom with a buy signal, but we didn't, and we have several sell signals here, the red stars already. And then we went to the 100 period SMA support and regained some of the profit to the upside, reversing the price action. But the S&P doesn't look like it wants to stop here, and probably we could see also an ABC correction going to some lower levels. I don't know if the S&P will hold, and the dollar is of course valuing, so this is there is a big uncertainty regarding the S&P right now. But looking at the weekly chart only, I see sell signals, I see try to recover but not being able to go above the previous week's candle, and I don't know if this is going to remain here or have another correction down, probably to 10% from the top, and then trying to recover again, continuation of the bull cycle for the S&P. But right now I don't see it happening very soon. Okay, last but not least, the last chart of the day, of course, is the bigger outlook for Bitcoin. We are still above the trend line, the big trend line that I really like, which starts on the COVID crash, then touches the price action for the first time when we start to go exponential to the upside, and then touches again a second time when we had this 56% correction and accumulation. And now we are trying to maintain the price action above the trend line and above this green rectangle, which is the big support that we have to maintain. This is the last hill to defend before going into probably a bear market. If we break all these supports and this trend line, I probably don't see Bitcoin going to be able to get back above this trend line soon, and probably we could be into a longer, a long time, probably accumulation sort of bear market, but really neutral, something like that, just going in between these levels of 64 and 28, probably having some more accumulation. But this will take a long time if we break this support, go below the trend line, and try to recover again for continuation of the bull cycle. I don't see it happening very fast or very quickly, so it's not good if we lose this last support around the 40k. Although the MACD continues to go down here on the daily chart, this is a daily chart of course, the MACD continues to go down, although the bars are already getting light red and with some indication that we might reverse, but we need to do it quickly, and it would be great to have it this week. Okay guys, so let's see. If any of you has any question, I will take probably 1 or 2 questions very quickly, because this is already 25 minutes of podcast and I would not like to see it very long. So let's see here. I will take a look just at the last page of the chat, not going to search many. So you guys did not mention me once, so I will just try to find one question here. No mentions, so not easy to find anything, but I will try to see any questions here. So Javiera Carolina asks if a bearish market could last years. Well, in this case, it could last to the next halvening. In the worst case scenario, it could be 2024, which is the next halvening year. I guess it's 2024. But I still have my serious doubts that we will have this bear market until the next halving, and that this was a top. I still believe that this top that we had around $64,000 could probably be a local top, just similar to the 2013 cycle where we had a correction mid-cycle, around 75% correction, and then we had the continuation to the upside. So I guess I still believe that we could reverse here at the levels of the 40K and continue to the upside, even if this is very, very slowly and sustainably. But that's my opinion still, unless my opinion could change if we break the support around 40K and we go below it again, and we also break that white trend line you saw in the last chart. Okay, so things to keep in mind: the weekly close of this candle has to be above the 20 period SMA, and probably it would be very, very good to be above the 44,000 or 45,000 and close the candle on the green. That would be a very good indication that we might use this candle for a reversal of the price action. Also, the daily chart, you have to keep focus on the 100 period SMA, which is the red line on my chart. So that has been sustaining the price exactly at the critical levels, and for 2 times already we went there and we reversed to the upside. So that's one of the things you also have to keep in focus. And also last but not least, you have to keep also focus on the white trend line on my bigger outlook chart and see if the price breaks that trend line to the downside. That will be very, very bad also. So there are 3 things that we should take into account right now. Okay, if we go into a bear market, if all these things fail and we start to go down and retest the 28 levels, the 28K levels, probably it will take a long time to reverse the price action again. It could take probably 1 year, 2 years, I don't know, a few months, but it will take a long time to see new all-time highs if we don't reverse the price action right now. That's what I think. It doesn't mean that we could take like 4 years for another bear market to get above the 64K, but at least it will take a long time to get above the all-time high, the previous all-time high. Okay, so one more question just to finish the podcast, and let's see. Bichimoku, glad to see you here, man. Hi Hugo, what do you think of a top coming in around 75K blocks after the halving? This happened for 2014, 2018 tops. That would put us around end of December for this cycle's peak. Well, this is in the continuation of what I just said to Javiera. If we have a reversal of the price action here and we are able to break this channel here, this channel that we formed, I will put it on the daily chart so we can see it better. If we are able to break this channel to the upside and we reverse the price action immediately during the course of this week, then I believe that by the end of the year we could see higher prices and probably breaking the all-time high, the previous all-time high, and prices probably in between 75 and 100K. But if we don't reverse here, if we don't hold this support line, then I see it taking a very long time to get back above the previous all-time high. So in this case, sorry, a top coming in around 75K blocks after the halving. I just don't really understand what you mean after the halving. Are you talking about the 2024 halving, or are you talking about the previous halving? I don't really understand here what you're trying to ask me, but as I said, if we don't keep this line of support, I don't see it happening soon. Probably we will not have an all-time high again in the next few months, probably even 1 year. So probably only if we break this right now, if we go below 40K, retest the 28 and try to consolidate above that level, I see that probably we could have a new all-time high by the end of 2022, or maybe halfway to the end of 2022. But I don't see it happening sooner than that if we don't keep this critical level, the price action above this critical level. Okay, guys, I don't really want to make it very long. We have already 30 minutes of podcast today. I just wanted to give you a quick update. I'm sorry if I don't answer all the questions. I had a lot of charts to go through, and I also wanted to show you the 3 things that you should focus today. Of course, I have something. Let me just, before I forget, I will not be able to take any more questions today, but of course there is one important thing I want to give you guys, and it will just show on screen as soon as I remove the chat here. I had a problem here with my software, sorry for that. I had to remove this, and I will just put myself on screen right now, and here it is. Something that for some of you guys, this will be very, very important. And that's it. It was there. So, of course, you guys know what I'm talking about. And I'm now going to, again, just show you the URLs, the important URLs you should keep in mind. The first one is if you want to follow me on Twitter, I will appreciate, because I had to create a new account after being deplatformed last week. And the second one, the one that ends with FU Money, is the link for you to join the Telegram group, where you can join more than 500 people already to discuss Bitcoin and other markets stuff in general. So join us there on Telegram and follow me also on Twitter, because if you want to participate in the giveaway of the FU Money podcast, you need to follow me on Twitter. So that's really important. There's the link there. Just use it. And now, of course, I will say goodbye, guys. I have to go. This was a quick update. We will have, again, another one probably on Wednesday, or if I get really crazy tomorrow, let's see. Probably not. I will not get crazy so easily. But anyway, it doesn't cost you anything. It's completely free. So gently touch the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will see you, of course, in the next one. So bye-bye, guys, and thank you for watching.